As I once again take a moment and thank all our partners for their trust in us, I'd like to thank our presenting partner, Dell Technologies, our gold partner, Cashier Technologies, Informatica, Cloudera, Fiserv, IBM, MediaTek. I'd also like to thank our associate partners, Tata Teleservices and Checkpoint. Of course, the event has been brought to you by Femina and ET Edge. As we look forward to a very fun session coming up next, I'd like to request all our delegates to please log in and write on our signature wall. We would love to know what your comments are as we look forward to reading all of them through. Our team at the back end is looking forward to seeing all of you logging in and writing your comments on the signature wall. May I also request you to please click pictures in the photo booth and post with our hashtag ET Women in Tech. It's also very exciting as we get set for our session, Girl Power, what it means to be a girl in tech. And I present to you Ms. Avanti Sharma, Preteen Technology Specialist, Workshop for Me.
Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be back at an Economic Times event. In February of 2019, I had the occasion to personally attend the ETGBS event and hear from some of the most inspiring leaders. I really enjoyed hearing from Prime Minister Modi ji, Satguru ji, Mr. Hinduja, and Guy Kawasaki, to name a few. Coming on to the subject of technology, in February of 2019, I had made a wish while addressing the audience at ETGBS. Let's play it out real quick.
I dream of creating a school where children come to class only 6 times a month, and the rest of the time they work at home, or in their own pace and convenience, or in any country. Doing so will reduce the school's size, the carbon footprint, and bring more diversity in the school's contents, as it can be tailored to the students' liking, preferences, and backgrounds.
Guess what? That wish was heard. In 2020, that wish was fulfilled. At that point of time, it sounded like I was talking 10 years ahead, something which needed a lot of planning for this transition. But then, something happened, and I think that you all know what I'm talking about. And we all started attending our schools and our work from home. And the amazing part was that it wasn't just happening in places like Europe, it was happening all across the world, in even massive countries where it before seemed so out of reach. So, I'd like to tell all girls that when you wish something, it happens. That's the girl power you should believe in. In my journey so far, I realized that one draws their path from their belief, and belief gets formed at an early age from what you learn from your parents and also the cultural root you may inherit. It's not that one needs to be born as a genius or perfect at science subjects to do good in technology. I've seen in Europe that from an early age, because of peer influence or their upbringing, they think that girls have to fit into a particular image, and sadly, that image finds mathematicians or even scientists as exceptions or outliers, as said in the adult world. In my journey so far, a lot of time has gone over the years to coaching and counseling girls who are either older than me, younger than me, or in my year, telling them to take science since it opens up a lot of opportunities. And if they find it too difficult, they can drop out of it in later years. I see this process as a one-way valve, which allows blood to enter the heart, but doesn't allow it to go down the other way. If one wants to take science later on, it's not possible. That mistake can't be undone. Most of the time, I've seen that career counselors don't just clearly tell them what I just said. When students need guidance, they're left to decide on their own, as they're told that all subjects are equal, and that they can decide based on their interest. They don't seem to realize that a child at that age doesn't have the experience to decide correctly. It's kind of like when a child says, "Which way's home?" and giving the answer saying, "You can go anywhere and eventually you will reach home, since the earth is round." Now, while that is technically correct, that the child will in fact reach home while walking in any direction, that's not called guidance. Our system should explain how taking mathematics will put them ahead, and give them better chances of success. After having explained the merits and options, then we should leave it up to the child to decide whatever he or she would like to take. Many parents tell their children not to take maths because it is really difficult, and when they were younger, they weren't good at it, so the child is no good either. And vice versa, where parents force their children to be scientists or mathematicians, even if they don't want to be. So, creating a system that develops self-belief in the child is the most important aspect of this journey. Looking around the world, I find that the Gurukul system, coming from India, guides the child to help understand his or her strengths and weaknesses, and what they like or dislike better. I read a bit about the Rabindra Bharati University module, and I thought that that provides the solution. I also read about India's new education policy and find that it gives a lot of emphasis on exploring knowledge, rather than memorizing or even remembering it. This is a big shift, and I especially feel connected with this subject because in 2019 at ETGBS, I mentioned something like this. Let's hear those sound bites.
Codutainment. Codutainment is a concept where coding, science, mathematics can all happen in the form of entertainment. But why have I done this? Well, when I was a lot younger, and even now, whenever I go to the cinema hall, I really enjoy it. It's an experience. However, whenever I go to school, my friends don't seem to be very happy. For example, whenever you pick up a fiction book, you can see it's full of pictures and colors and cool images and text and explains something really well. However, whenever you pick up a mathematics or science book, for example, you can see a huge difference. One is bright, full of pictures and colors, and the other one is not so bright and not full of pictures and doesn't explain why we put out different signs for different equations. This is what I want to change.
Let me rewind the clock to the start of my journey. My first visit to any international conference was in 2015 when my brother gave a keynote address at an IT conference named LIFT in Geneva. While my brother was preparing for his talk and networking after it, I was obliviously practicing my gymnastic tricks and backbends at the same time. Even if I didn't participate in it at all, when I look back, that was really the start of my journey. Being a 9-year-old, I was amazed with the speaker and all of the scientists sitting in the hall. I was also amazed at the applause which it all had. Somehow, I started dreaming to be in that position as well. My first opportunity came in Budapest, Hungary, at the Scratch conference, where I talked about a programming tool named Scratch. My talk was attended by the founder of Scratch, Mitch Resnick, from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. By that time, I had already been to MIT's campus and got inspired by its grand architecture and campus environment. After this, more and more opportunities started appearing. I was invited to radio interviews, which, by the way, are super fun. In 2018, I was invited to the Technology Playmaker Awards along with Gillian Tan, the CEO of Booking.com, and Randy Zuckerberg, both of whom mentioned me in their speech. They helped me realize that I need to make my contribution to promote girls in tech. From this year, I've accepted the role of brand ambassador of Women Tech Network. One challenge of my journey has been that I didn't do a sufficient enough contribution for India. I know that there's huge talent and a lot of work needs to be done. I met Team India at the first Global Robotics Challenge in Washington, D.C. in 2017 and a different team in Dubai in 2019 and got amazed with all their achievements and capabilities. They made India proud. I'd like to collaborate with my fellow co-panelists to explore how we could come together to enhance girl power in India. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for your enlightening insights.